Good evening. Welcome back to court, ladies and gents. Dude, last time, dude, it was so difficult, dude. Dude, we're back at the thing, dude. I'm fucking doing this tonight. I guess it's not a weekend. They're not. Oh, I thought you said I'm doing it for the content. Oh, there you are, Odo. What kept you, my dear fellow? Hello, Mr. Sholmes. Gina. Wait, let me check now. I'll do it real quick, yeah. Right, that's good. That's good. Yeah, everything's all in order.
Sure, but what you saying there? The boss, you know, actually died the day before. It's pretty hard to swallow. Yes. I was shocked by the revelation too, Gina.
As was I. Possibly more shocked than both of you. It's not a competition, Sholmes. Well, I'm shocked times 100. But I was more shocked than all of you put together. Oh yeah. Gotta drink the water. This is the autopsy report in question, is it? Yes, it's strange that there's no time of death noted. I suppose there's a simple explanation, or perhaps it was a deliberate omission.
Oh dear. If it was deliberate, it puts me in mind of the last case we worked on, and Dr. Seath.
I know. Anyways, it seems that on the day before Lord Van Zeech discovered his body, Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League. So perhaps something happened with... Come to think of it. You had trouble with those League men too, didn't you, Mr. Sholmes? You were taken in by their trick. No. Naturally, I wasn't taken in as you put it. My sleuthhound interest was merely piqued slightly by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. Yep, pretty much. And that scent masked the underlying scent of deception, I suppose.
The two criminals in question are the pair we saw being arrested yesterday, aren't they? And Mr. Sholmes' sweet, I mean. That's right, Seath. And it was me who took him in. Thanks to a tip-off by a good law-abiding citizen.
Indeed, yours truly. So it's going to be that pair in the witness stand next, is it? Something doesn't quite make sense to me, though. The day before Inspector Gregson was found, you hadn't had trouble with the Red-Headed League yet, had you? Why would the inspector have been investigating them then? Well, the likely explanation would be that Gregson's own sleuthhound interest was piqued by the rare scent of a weekly £4 income. Okay, we all know about the money.
Don't tar him with some brushes, you Sholmes.
It's not just about the money sometimes, Sholmes. As we know, these guys seem very sketchy.
Yes, well...
Then there's the whole issue of Inspector Gregson being investigated by Lord Van Zieks for some reason.
The Reaper, the Red-Headed League, Inspector Gregson, Lord Van Zieks.
I mean, he's the Reaper, of course. And Kazuma. I feel as though he knew we'd arrive at this point somehow.
Gosh, I think you're right.
What's he really trying to achieve here today? I'm feeling really cold. I'm wearing a jacket. Maybe I should wear long pants. Alright, I'll change in 4 minutes? All answers will soon be revealed. Observe the time, my dear fellow. This recess will be over very shortly. Yes, you're right. Kazuma was determined that he should be the one to prosecute this trial. And he was determined that I should take the defense. Just what is it that he's hoping to make me see, I wonder? I get the feeling we're a long way from the end of this trial yet. We're about to come to the end of this, actually. Are you ready then, Mr. Sato?
Yes.
Okay, we're back in trial. I'm gonna change pants real quick. Okay, that was fast. Right then. I should be okay from then on. This one should be live chat, if anything. All right. Yeah, I think everything's all good tonight. I can rest easy. The Old Bailey courtroom. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session again. We resume the close court hearing of Barrett Van Zieks, here present, who stands accused of murder. Now then, Prosecutor Soki. My lord. Have you summoned the witnesses as requested? Yes, the 2 members of the Red-Headed League who planned and carried out the deception. They arrived not long ago from the local prison by police carriage. Very good. Santa Claus man. Bailiff, usher the 2 men in the courtroom. It's these blokes again. Look at that. They're eating spaghetti. These 2 men are currently being held by the police on suspicion of attempted extortion. You may omit your occupations, but state your names now for the court. I am Fabian de Rizou. I don't know how to pronounce that. A descendant of the great de Rizou family from Nice in France.
And my name is Pepino de Rossi. I am the descendant of the great family de Rossi, the landowners of Napoli, from Napoli.
The 2 men first became acquainted at a boarding school for European nobility. Those who graduate from seek as the future leaders of Europe. But do you have any idea how boring it is to be born with noble blood? Alas, I make it my mission to get the better of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. That is all I am trying to do. So, that's the only reason for this whole grand deception you'd been carrying out? Oui, you could say that.
Not bad, eh?
Wait. I get my shit for the rest of the world by employing the little grey cells of my brain. Born with the noble. Okay.
the grand ideas, but the petty plans. The such competition is the charm of the hilarious palace. Si, capo.
Oh, wait, he's Spanish? Okay. Listen to me, Peppino. I have two things to say to you.
Che. Are you about to tell me one of your grandi advocates, Eviva?
I can't really go. Firstly, I want you to stop calling me the capo. This capo. Yes, capo. Yeah, they're mafia or something. And secondly, we are not the hilarious brothers. This is a serious business.
Che bello, says it is. The capo suck trump cut. The furrow both the brow. It is a deep, a capo, the furrow, and the meaning of your word.
The court has been led to believe that under the banner of the Red-Headed League, you have to conspire to swindle money from unsuspecting members of the public. Is this true? Oui. How do you pronounce that? Siska. And what exactly was the nature of this deception by which you plan to defraud? Alors, I will explain it.
No, Kappa! Leave it to me! As you will see, we both have the vivid red hair, no? At school, we were teased for this without pity. The capo here, he was many times behind the schoolhouse, carrying like the Trevi fountain. Ooh, so stung! One day they went with respect as it. Every night, he would bury his head.
Oh, fuck. This bien Peppino enough. I will explain the rest. The first step was the newspaper advertisement. About 1 week before the plan was put into operation, we listed the same notice in every paper in London. We saw that notice. It was this one, I believe, entitled to the Red-Headed League. Oui, sister. I am honored that you have seen it. It states that the only condition for joining the league is having flame-colored hair. And that if you satisfy the interview panel and are admitted into the league, you could receive a weekly income of £4. On the date specified, red-headed hopefuls gathered in droves at a park specified in the advertisement. And from each person present, this pair took an application fee of 5 shillings. Ooh. And with the money, two friends, it was a plan was elegant, no? No, it was most dishonorable. But to be frank, I am stunned anybody was foolish enough to be taken in by such an obvious trick.
The park was described by one witness as choked with red-headed folk, like a Costa orange barrow.
And the day on which all these men gathered to apply was the day before the victim was discovered. Crucially, these two men spoke face to face with every single person present that day. Oui. I have seen more red-headed people in one day than I will see in the rest of my life.
See. And now, every time I see a couple's hair, I feel sick to my stomach.
Anyway, why have we been summoned here today? Sorry. The date for our trial was not until tomorrow, I was told. Naturally, neither of these men have been told any details about this trial. They've only been shown this photograph. Very good. So, Mr. De Rizou and Mr. De Rossi, you will now give your formal testimony for the court on the subject of the gentleman pictured in this photograph. Of course, we are always ready to help with the law. Right, he is eating this baguette, so I assume he's actually Italian. So, yeah, I think I did. Because Italian and Spanish are both romantic languages, so why not? We had more than the 1,000 red-headed people assembled in the park on Lime Street that day.
But I don't recall the man in the photograph, a capo.
No, I don't remember him. Obviously, he is dead now. But I assure you, he was not in the park.
Allora, this victim has nothing to do with us.
You have a lot to answer for, Peppino. It is your fault for that we caught in the first place. I see. Right. You've given sworn testimony that this man in the photograph was not present. Can you be certain? Oui, I am quite certain. We did not interview this man.
Nobody looking like this came into the park. This I can promise.
It must be noted that you have been arrested for a grand deception, however. Accordingly, this court has little confidence in your assurances.
With this attitude, we get nowhere, eh?
He's really sulking now. He's really a sulking now. This covenant document was obtained directly from Scotland Yard. It records an entry from the inspector's private diary dated the day before the incident. It reads, Lime Street, Red-Headed League, undercover.
Ah, I have the answer. Maybe there was another similar event in the park on the day in question, eh?
That is ridiculous. There's no question that Inspector Gregson was investigating the Red-Headed League, which means it's quite possible that that's when he was killed. I see. Very well. The defense may proceed with the cross-examination now. Ah, yes, my lord. Ooh. The man in the photograph. We had more than 1,000 red-headed people. Let's have that in the park. Hold it! Oh, God blimey.
1,000 people.
That's a very big crowd. It's quite a spectacle. Redheads come all over the capital. See, the couple here, he has the magnetismo animal, eh? Nobody else could attract so many people. If I could be born again, I would be the capo. So capo means captain in Italian, actually. Now, I like to watch mafia stuff, and I love the mafia of anything, right? Capo means captain, and I think I missed something. Oh, these people want their money, Pepino. They £4 per week. So basically, yeah, he's the captain. Are you suggesting that you personally spoke personally with all 1,000 applicants? Oui, that we did. Because every one of them paid us 5 shillings.
We took their names, and we took their money, and we took their addresses as well. Then I took them, we took some days to let them know by a post infinito. Maybe 2 minutes a person. We start early in the morning, and we stop later in the night.
So, you earn 5,000 shillings in one day. That's a small fortune. That's about £50. Who would have thought there was 1,000 such gullible redheads in London to start with? One of whom was a great detective with chemically altered hair. Gosh.
But I don't recall the man in the photograph, eh, Capo?
Hold it! It doesn't look at all familiar.
No, I don't think so. And this is a wig, eh? He was trying to trick us. I don't like the people who are trying to trick the other people.
Says the con artists. Between them, they interviewed 1,000 people with red hair. It would be unreasonable to expect them to remember every face.
No, senor. I may be small, but my memory is very large. I never forget a thing. In my opinion, I do not think this is a man who was in the park.
But he's not going to give the court a definite, it seems.
Hey, Capo, you didn't see a man like this, eh?
He's cute though. I like him. No, I don't remember. Why am I voicing the... I'm not supposed to voice them, but I guess they're fun to voice, I guess. But according to what you've just said, you spoke with 1,000 or more people that day. Oui, that's true. My eyes were burning by the end of the day. Surely then you can't actually remember every single face. How are you so certain that this particular man wasn't present?
Normally the redhead is very distinctive, eh? But not when you have 1,000 redhead crowding around. It is just an eyesore. But if there was somehow other information you could give us, maybe then we could recall.
That is not the line, Pepino. Remember, we do not remember him. We are sure of that fact, eh? If there was a man with red hair piece, but his mustache, we do not match the color, then I do not think I could have forgotten him. customer said these two had only been shown that photograph, and they'd be told nothing else at all. What if I fed them just one other detail about the victim? For example, fish and chips. I can certainly appreciate that just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember in this situation. But what if I told you that the man was always munching on a packet of fish and chips? Do you remember a man who was eating incessantly? But really, I was looking at the heads of the applicants. I wouldn't have noticed the fish and chips any more than the caviar and smoked salmon.
Oh, the spaghetti! Me, I love the spaghetti!
Really? I had no idea. Tell them again what you said before, Peppino.
Si, capo, si. I say it again and again.
Hold it! This testimony is very difficult. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, his profession, his name. I can certainly appreciate that knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember the situation. I told you that the man's name was Gregson. The man in the photograph is a Monsieur Gregson. Yes.
Names, they are boring. I do not listen to any of him.
Oh.
It was not a real interview, eh? It was for a show. Why would I remember the names?
That's right. This changes nothing. The man in the photograph was not there, as we've already said. I see. Seemed there's little to be gained from pursuing the point further. Tell them again what you said before, Peppino. Okay. One more try. Hold it! Last one. I can certainly appreciate just knowing the man had red hair wouldn't help you remember this in this situation. But what if I told you the man had red hair was actually a detective? The man in the photograph, a detective? Yes. It would appear he found your notice in the paper suspicious and decided to investigate incognito. Sorry, but this changes nothing. Excuse me. Something to add, Mr. De Rossi.
Si, I am always adding something. Parmesan, olive oil, pepper.
What I mean is, did you not agree with your friend's last remark by any chance?
What did he just say about the detective?
Yes, that. Keep your mouth shut, Peppino. You have said enough already.
But why, Capo? What is the problem? There was a man who said, I am an inspector from the Scotland Yard.
What? Good lord. All right, we found the bloke. Right, we got him now. Order. Explain this volte-face in your testimony, witness.
It's simple. A man who was at the park said to us that he was
There was no such man.
My day, what are you saying, Capo? Have you forgotten, eh?
I've forgotten nothing. Nobody likes this coming to this park.
Basta, Capo, basta. You beat me on many things, but not two. The memory and the meals. Like I said, when it's time to eat the pasta, no one is a faster.
Whoa, that rhymed. But you are inferior to me in every other way. So
Objection!
We are angry. Yeah. Oh no, his stomach. Protato, the damage is done. Indeed it is, sir. Oui, there was a man who came to the park, and he said he was an inspector from Scotland Yard. However, he looked nothing like the man in the photograph. He was someone else. How can you be so sure? Because to start with, his face was completely different.
See, it's true. The man who came was a younger. His face was a cleaner shaven. His eyes was a sadder. His chin was a thinner.
I see. Now, if we look at this photograph, yeah, matches the description. No resemblance whatsoever, then. Anyway, I was not going to be fooled. I took the obvious precaution and said to him, "If you are really a detective, show us the proof."
See, the couple here. He doesn't take nonsense, eh?
But he was well prepared. He said he had identification. Identification? You mean official police inspector's identification? It is most unconvincing. Sorry, my lord. Counsel, no incognito inspector would offer his identification for inspection. It's quite out of the question. Definitely. Why would he expose his true identity? Clearly, the papers were fake.
Certo capo, you're a genius. As we say in Italia, it takes a thief to recognize another, eh?
It takes a thief to recognize another, okay. And what happened after he announced that he was a detective? He became very annoying. He became very annoying. He said, "You are under investigation." So I took his papers from him and chased him out of the park.
It was fantastico. And look, here is the identification.
So you stole it from the man?
He had it coming. He made us very scared. But he was not who said he was.
Indeed, the person described does not appear to have behaved as a true inspector would. However, I believe it would be prudent for these identification papers to be entered into evidence.
Huh. But I am like them.
Right. No, let us return to the witness's testimony. Right. That's actually the thing is, it's funny how, if anything, right, it's really weird when I think about it, how they didn't even recognize the fish and chips, so therefore it was not Gregson. I must see who is inside. Yes, it definitely looks fake, doesn't it? Oh. Out of interest, what name is given? Probably just something plucked out of thin air. It's Tobias Gregson. Wait, what? This Scotland Yard insignia looks genuine to me.
But how?
The department identification number details are all correct as well. Since when have you known those? Do you mean to say? I know it seems incredible, but yes, I think this is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. But that's unbelievable. The real thing after all. Alright, we got it. Turn to the witness testimony then. Allora, this victim has nothing to do with us. Well, to answer for Peppino, it's your fault as we got caught in the first place. Nah, I'm not gonna save you. I'm gonna test it out. Objection! That is an objection. I wonder if I could ask you to examine this identification book very closely. Miss Lestrade! Why Miss Lestrade? What is your intention here, counsel? Is it really a fake, or is it genuine? That's the question. Which we can't answer ourselves.
Objection!
Don't be ridiculous. No Scotland Yard detective will allow his or her identification be stolen.
That is the boss's. No question about it.
It can't be. As I suspected, the undercover detective who attended the Red-Headed League enrollment on that day in question was the real Inspector Gregson, carrying out an incognito investigation. Zealous! Zealous! Oh my god, he fell to the ground. Hey, he's actually on a stepladder thingy. A box. Order! Order!
But if the boss had his identification stolen, he would have reported it straight away. Mate, it was always on at me about it. If you lose something, report it at once, he say.
Excuse me. Fuck. Could it be then that the inspector was physically unable to report it?
Eh? What are you saying?
Unable to. You're not suggesting. Yes, it's quite possible that he was killed before he had the chance to report his identification stolen. No. We're all looking good here today. Order! The defense posits that the victim was killed the day before his body was discovered at a different location. Do you two have anything to say about that? Pull yourself together, Pepino. Mon Dieu, you can behave more like a master criminal than that, you know? Just stop crying, Pepino, please. Otherwise,
Lemmy, stop your whining and start talking.
Well, I believe the court will need to hear your story in considerable great detail. But you will tell everything or face the worst possible outcome. You will try your eyes and testify again about these identification papers and the precise circumstances under which you came by them. For crying out loud. Crying out loud indeed. The detective and identification. The truth is, we took him prisoner and kept him for the night at our secret outlet. Even though I did ask, he was a real detective. I was too scared to let him go that day, just in case. There might have been a bit of tussle, but we did not know. And next morning, we let him go. That was great. I like that. Kind of. It wasn't perfect, but I like it. This is outrageous. You imprisoned the man.
But no, see, no. It is not like a prison. He was a very comfortable and a common happy. Hey, couple.
It was never part of my plan. I swear.
So, you think it was my fault, eh? Just because I got a date out of very wrong. But one little day.
I do not think it was your fault, Peppino. I know it.
No. Por favor, capo. It's not fair.
You shall have plenty of time for squabbling back at the prison, gentlemen. I don't believe this. How could you have been a real detective? Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. On the day before the incident, Gregson spent the night confined in this pair's hideout. Right then. Let's see what we can find at. The detective and the identification. The truth is, we took him a prisoner. I was in a secret hideout. Oh wait, I don't need to read this anymore. Hold it! Do you realize what you're saying? You have to believe it for that to happen. I'm sure the detective not intent either. Do you think? But there was nothing else I could do. See, nothing else. This was the first time with the capo. He was at the end of his with the wits. I have told you before, Peppino, that is not the way to describe a criminal mastermind. What about this hideout of yours? An old empty house behind the park on Lime Street. We rented the place for 2 days. It was inspired by a capo here. An impulsive idea, I would say. No, not impulsive. Inspired. A capo. What am I supposed to say to that, Peppino? And it was the house described that you couldn't find Inspector Gregson, was it? Oui. You have to remember, I was under the impression that he was a pretender, not even a real inspector. That doesn't quite up though. If you didn't think the man was a real inspector, there would have been no reason to take him prisoner, would there? No, you're right. We could have been completely certain. I didn't think it was the real detective. I was too scared to let him go that dangerous.
Hold it!
Too scared? Why? Because... he comes to the back, we did not. There was a chance that he has seen through my plan. And if that was the case, he would go straight to the police to blow a whistle on us. He was just feigning to be an inspector. He was up to no good, huh? Without a double... I'm so fucking tired now. At least I'm out of breath. I think most people would agree that it was you two who were up to no good. Well, see, he may be right. Well, I see, he may be right, Capo. So cute though, I like him. The point is, we are not able to escape from England immediately. That is why we had no choice but to take the man prisoner. What I don't understand is why the inspector felt the need to show you his identification in the first place. See, I asked myself the same question. We're writing down the names and addresses of all the people who took 5 shillings from that day. I've forgotten what the name is said, but the address, it startled me. See, address Scotland Yard Homicide Division, he said. What? He probably didn't like your face, Peppino. Anyway, I was not rude, I was just polite to ask why he said it. And that is when he started to say it was the inspector, not long afterwards. Got his identification. What was Inspector Gracie playing at? Tell the call what happened next. You took him back to your hideout, you say? See, we did a... Okay, what we do? Set him in the room next to ours.
Hold it!
That being this identity book right here, correct? See. That is the one. What made you believe it was a forgery? I never seen a real one, of course. But he was so suspicious, this man. Laura, I was thinking that it must be a falso. Che po? Oui, it was just a Peppino set. We were convinced it was not a genuine. And so together, the Helios brothers, we took the man captive. All we did was shove him inside a locked room. Then we made preparation for the sample for the money. In for a penny, in for a pound. There might have been a little tussle, but did him no harm. The next one.
Hold it!
What do you mean by a little tussle exactly? Biff, it was nothing, just a minor incident. The false inspector, he was a real piece of the work, capo. What happened? It was disaster, we gave him a nice room, and what do? Huh? In the middle of the night, he tried to escape through a ventilator. Can you blame him? We chased him, being sure. We caught him again. Can you blame us? Wait, you didn't shoot the man in your heist, did you? Is it? Who do you think we are? Of course not. I simply caught him again and took him back into the room.
Excuse me!
I want to wash my eye now. It's really irritating, if anything. Alright, in a bit then. I'm going to read this. Mr. Rossi, something wrong.
I am here.
Something Mr. Deruzu just said seemed to make you, well, it seemed to make you act even more strangely than usual. What was that all about?
Cavollo, at the times like that, you don't want to have the capo after you, believe me. And I speak from a personal experienza.
Personal experience? That is enough, Peppino. There is no need to say more.
The truth is, the night before we put the Red-Headed League plan into action, I was scared. It was not fair to the capo, but I tried to run away.
It's a shame you didn't manage it.
But the capo here, he came after me like a big, like the turbine, and he dragged me back to the house, kicking and screaming. I still have bruises to prove it, capo.
Bruises, you say?
You wanna see? You wanna see my fantastic bruises?
That's enough, Peppino. No one wants to look at any part of you.
But what did I do? I will show you or I don't. I show you or I don't.
You do, now.
Allora, if everyone wanted to see, then I had to do it.
Oh,
Ecco, you see, it's very visible, eh?
that red ring around your neck. You got that when you got back to... Oh, you just dragged the man. Okay, I see. Poor sod. I see something there. No, there's nothing there. It's definitely not fair, yeah?
See, the couple sometimes is very rough, and
I said that's enough. His neck, though. Peppino's neck has nothing to do with what we are talking about, yeah? You have my word. Yes, it is your opinion, Counsel. About this red ring around Mr. De Rossi's neck, I wonder. Does it matter? Let's put it in. Mr. De Rossi, I'm going to have to ask you. Demand your testimony with the details about the mark on your neck.
hey, couple, you see, everyone is interested in what I say, eh?
Very well. We'll amend your testimony as requested, Mr. De Rossi.
See, if you really want to know.
He tried to escape, but the couple put a collar and then drag him back like he did to me, you see. Wait a second. Mrs. Vigil did say that Mrs. Vigil did say that he was gone for 2 days. She got worried. I see. This is alarming indeed. I'm gonna object in a bit. I need to wash my eye. It's really irritating. I think it's good like this. Good blimey. The couple put the collar on him and drag him back, like what they did to me. Then... should I object? But first...
Hold it!
Let's hold it. Are you saying that the red mark was caused by...
See, a bigger collar from the leather.
a leather collar? Is this true, Mrs. Derizu?
What? Wait, I did BUNGAAA at home when I was younger.
Wait, that's not Italian. It is a souvenir from that time with a very strong chain. A strong chain? And you put that collar around your friend's neck?
I'm sorry, I was so angry that he was leaving me alone. You did not have to tie the chain to a leg of a bed. Although, I would not have tried to run away and run again.
You didn't have that to Inspector Gregson, did you?
Treat the people as equal, is Inspector Capo here motto, eh?
It's starting to sound a lot more like a prison all of a sudden.
The capo is a tough, but the capo is a rough.
The capo is a tough, but the capo is a rough. I shouldn't have done it. So the following morning, when you realized, the inspector...
He had a red ring around his neck, just like me.
Peppino, silver split, leave it now.
Now you know, the capo here did not want to tangle with him, eh? But for the inspector, it is not so bad.
Should I present the photo or the... Snack is fine.
Objection!
There we go. It worked. So, the day before his body was discovered, Inspector Gregson was taken prisoner while working incognito. No. It was not like that. It was an ordinary prison. It was an invitation to stay. It was only... However, you describe it, there was one glaring inconsistency that remains. What inconsistency is this, counsel? I would ask the court to look closely at this photograph of the victim, Inspector Gregson. You will see that there is no red ring visible around his neck.
But it makes no sense. It was me who put the collar on the man in the morning, and I saw the red bruises on his neck, just like I have.
Given that the mark is still clearly visible on the witness's neck, we'd expect to see bruising on the victim was put in the collar more recently than Mr. De Rossi. Indeed, this is most peculiar.
But what do we tell you? Huh? We said this from the beginning, many times.
Oui, Peppino is right. The man is a photograph. Someone recruited the man and we are captives at night. The night! Excuse me, I think I want to try and correct that anyway. Order! It would appear then that on the day before the incident, the man who visited the park on Lime Street posing as an incognito inspector was not Inspector Gregson at all. If that's true, however, how do you explain the inspector's identification? This is a genuine identification book issued by Scotland Yard. It's inconceivable that someone could have stolen such an important item from the inspector. The prosecution made that assertion itself. Exact fucking Lee.
And we also know that Inspector had made a note about the red-headed leg in his diary for that day. It surely means we can't divorce the two events completely.
The inconsistency noted by the defense is most troubling. If it were the real Inspector Gregson whom these two red-headed gentlemen encountered, the fact that no bruising can be seen around his neck defies explanation. But equally, if they actually encountered an imposter, how did that person came to be in possession of the real Inspector identification? Does the defense have some plausible explanation, counsel? The whole thing defies explanation.
It is for precisely these occasions that we keep meticulous notes in the court record, Mr. Protato. Because those are the facts, and the facts cannot lie.
No, the facts can't lie. Even when they point to something so incredible. It's almost unbelievable. Well, my lord, the true identity of the person who turned up in the park with a red-headed league in Norman is revealed by information in the court record, I believe. Good gracious. Very tantalizing, Mr. Protato. So why don't you help us all to see whatever the truth it is that you apparently have seen? Who exactly was this inspector that had appeared before Mr. De Russo and Mr. an imposter? Though it seems incredible, I admit, the undeniable facts point to only one thing. Since there's no bruising can be seen in the victim's neck, the person who these two red-headed men took prisoner that day cannot have been Inspector Gregson. In other words, your whole argument up to now has been a waste of time. Objection! On the contrary, I haven't finished. What? There's no bruising on the victim's neck, so the question immediately posed the next is, who exactly was this man in the park on Lime Street found to be carrying Inspector Gregson's identification?
See, that's right. We tell the same story every time. Whoever this man was, the cop would drag him from a pillar to a post with a dog collar.
Mon Dieu, Pépino, I was not so shot,
So who was the first inspector, eh? Who was he?
Clearly, the defense has an idea about that. About the true identity of the man of these two imprisoned that night. I must ask the counsel of the defense to elaborate post-haste. Who did the witness encounter in the park posing Inspector Gregson? Pretty obvious at this point.
Take that!
Daily vigil. It's surely no secret. This is the identity of the imposter. Oh, really? On what grounds?
Well, I said it was no secret, but
That part is.
what? What? What?
Though the red ring used by the collar is clearly the crux of the matter here. Yes, the bruising around the neck. I must ask the counsel of the defense to elaborate. Post haste.
Take that!
It is. It is the fucking dude.
Goodness me, isn't that?
One of the witnesses who was in the stand in this very courtroom earlier today. A nameless man whose only occupation appears to be peddling hearsay to passers.
Objection!
Hearsay. What on earth would a street seller be doing at a police inspector's identification papers? Witnesses, is this the man or not?
What has happened? Wait. What has happened is a slip. Ah. See, this is a man not for the red-head leak, eh? He's looking for the twisted lip leak, huh?
Perhaps rather than making such rash claim next time, you should bite your lip instead. It seems improbable, yes, but one undeniable fact remains. During his testimony earlier, I noted something around the man's neck, a red ring of bruising.
Eh?
What? Let me check something quick, yeah? Here we go. The defense demands that Mr. Gossip be brought back to the stand. I feel like shooting.
Order, bailiff. Bring the aforementioned witness back to the courtroom immediately.
There it is. Ah! I want to take a picture of that now, but I couldn't. I can't rewind. Maybe I'll save here just in case, yeah. I'll save here just in case, so I can, like, claim it later on, if it happens again.
Well, I never. Undeniable ring of bruising indeed. And identical to that of the witness beside him. Now, what's going on here, eh? I've always had this, me. It's a birthmark, isn't it?
A birthmark, you say? I assume the reason you've been recalled to the stand has been explained to you.
Hey, something about Inspector again. But I'm telling you, you've got it all wrong as usual.
You're denying all knowledge of it.
Well, of course I am. Are you trying to kill me with all this nonsense, eh?
Well, at least you'll have more stories to peddle back on Fresno Street, won't you? Now, we're going to need you to testify again. And you, Mr. DeRozoo and Mr. DeRossi, I'm sure you'll cooperate, won't you? Do we have any choice?
We're in a big trouble, eh, Capo?
There's quite enough dilatory chatter. Proceed with the testimony. I must do that again later. Well, whatever. It's not that hard. It's just a trial. I can take a picture for next time. Inspector identification revisited. The man who claims to be the inspector that day was definitely not this man.
He's right, see? It's agree with the forget of his grand lips, eh? I'd never leave Fresno Street, alright? I've no interest in the Red-Headed League. Am I alone in the world, mate? I've got no kink for or nothing. Would I be involved in something like that? Just look at me, eh? Does it look like I could carry off a disguise with a face like this?
True.
It will be certainly appear that we have the wrong man.
What I've been telling you? What I've been telling you? There was no need to sense point this testimony. That's right. I'm just a simple peddler, remember? Fresno Street, all I know. I would have come by police inspector identification book, eh? Well, yes, that's hard to explain, but...
A brief cross-examination, I think, counsel. Very brief.
Isn't there anyone in this courtroom who thinks I might be onto something?
I stand steadfastly at your side as always, Mr. Naruto.
Mm-hmm. The many claim inspectors that there was definitely...
Hold it!
So you say, but how can you be quite so certain? There's no need to do your hands on the testaments here. Surely the reason is obvious, no? Because I have never before seen lips like these. Nevertheless, there's a clear red mark around Mr. Gossip's neck. It's very much like the one left behind on your neck, your colleague. Mon Dieu, is the words is that you try to wring my neck. It does look very much like my neck though, eh? No, there's a birthmark, lad. The biggest lips in London and a neck to die for. For the first time in my life, I feel lucky to have been born with red hair. And I thought being Japanese made you stand out in London. So maintain you've never seen this man before. Oui, Siska. I swear to it in the flames of my hair. So fierce pride I've grown to frustration with your hair now, has it? It's right, see, you think we forget these grand lips, huh?
They keep turning in the lips.
Well, yes, I don't imagine I'll forget those lips in a hurry either. That is what I am saying. For some reason, it makes me want to eat... How did Fabian call it? An eclair? You know, I've never seen the hair as black as yours before either. Likewise, I've never seen red hair like yours until I came to Britain. See, maybe it's a national trait, eh? Maybe all the people from the men's country have a grand lips. No, lad. I was born right here on Fresno Street. I've never left. If, that is a problem, see? So you definitely didn't go to the park on Lime Street that day, Mr. Gossip. Now, how many times do you want me to say it, eh? Never leave Fresno Street. No interest in it.
Hold it!
So, you heard of the Red-Headed League, had you? You don't get a name like Gossip for nothing, eh? It's my business to know what's going on in time. I saw that testy tidbit for a few redheads. Fair few redheads that came past me. Just between us, I even got so much to cough it up for it too. Well, he does have a very red nose, if that counts. Who knows? But as you can see, my own hair got a hint of red in it. In any case, Fresno Street's my patch. You won't catch me sliding off some other part of town. No sir, not that.
Excuse me!
Mr. de Rousseau. Oui. Can I help you?
Did Mr. Gossip's word just now lead you to remember something relevant, perhaps? It was the other day when I was looking for a place near the park. A small house or something.
To be the headquarters of your Red-Headed League, yes.
I visited an housing agent in Lime Street, and there I saw him. This man was paying money to the agent.
What?
Mr. Gossip, the housing agent. Oui, he had some kind of contract in his hand, and they were clearly disgusting terms.
But no. You're mistaken, chum. I've never left Fresno Street like me. Like I said before, you've mistaken me for someone else, someone with the same face. No, the cop was right. I remember the two. It was being the man with the bucket with the big nuts.
With notes.
Like I said, that wasn't me. I was curious why this man with the claws had such a money. So I took a look at the name of the papers.
What name was read, Mr. Gossip?
No, this man, he lies. He tell you he has no name. But in fact, his name was Hugh Boone. It's better than Mr. Gossip, I think.
No! His name is Hugh Boone. He's the landlord.
I'm a peddler of tidbits of information, like I said, on Fresno Street, and that's that. I don't much like folk talking about my personal life.
Indeed. And it is not the intention of the court to invade the privacy of the witness. Very well, I shall respect your wishes, sir. The aforementioned name shall be redacted from all court records of this trial, assuming no objections.
Objection! I object. I'm sorry, my lord, but the defense does object. Because the name just mentioned has a very deep significance to this case.
Good gracious, do you similarly object, Prosecutor Yasuki? As it happens, my lord, that particular name has already been mentioned during today's proceedings. Well, I never. In what capacity?
Hugh Boone, the name of the leaseholder of the room.
Let me put this very simply. The victim's body was discovered in your rented room. What was that pause sound? I suggest, sir, that you stop talking.
Well, all right. Suppose that might be the case, eh?
We found something. So your real name is Hugh Boone.
Well, just between us, I don't like to blow me own trumpet, but there's no finer peddler of tidbits in town. So I happen to be able to afford a crummy little room in a falling down back street townhouse.
You do?
And once every 6 months, I go and pay the rent to the agent on Lime Street. I do remember now. There were 2 vulgar redheads in there last time. Hey, if either of us is vulgar, it is not me.
Sink again, Peppino.
Why didn't you bring this up before?
It's like I told you already. I don't like talking about my personal life. I'm a tidbit peddler as far as everyone else is concerned. No fuss.
You will update your testimony to include this most surprising revelation, Mr. Boone.
If I must.
So the leaseholder, Scotland Yard, has been looking for since the body was discovered. Has been here under our noses all along.
I rent the room where the fellow was found. It's true for what difference it makes.
Hold it!
Let's keep asking him. So, you lived in that room presumably, do you? No, I don't live there. What do you think? There's no bed in there, just a desk. Then, why would you want to rent it? Well, I don't think I should have to say, really.
Then how about the notice board in there? Which covered from top to bottom in confidential documents. Only the police should have access to it. Ah, no, that board's not mine. The inspector must have brought it along. It's only the other bits and bobs that belong to me, the desk and the chair and that chair. People don't generally carry enormous notice boards around with them.
The real question is, why was Inspector Gregson killed there in your room?
Well, obviously, I've not faintest idea.
I mean, it's causing me no end of bother, to be honest. Seems to me that Mr. Boone, would rather as little as known about his room as possible for some reason. This doesn't come across more important.
It's actually his room completely changes things. In particular, there's one part of his testament that's really bothering me now. That's how I finally get to undo this man. Inspector Griggs. I don't know now.
Hold it!
I mean, you have no family? No, not at all. Days on Festival Street peddling tidbits passerbys, hopping just between us. This is eventually someone else with lips like mine will come along. I don't think so. You may be right. Anyway, that mark on your neck is too much of a coincidence for us to ignore. What's the fella to do then, eh? Believe me, we're at impasse. Nothing I can do but flick me lip. If I've got nothing anywhere here, so I can produce some proof. Saying, you got all dressed up as a inspector, aren't you? Well, it's beyond me how you think I could do that. Maybe you could, say, with a mustache or a beard cover that lip up? Hey, perhaps. But if I'm going to stick some facial hair to cover my spine specimen, I'd end up looking like his lordship over there, wouldn't it?
Pardon? I assure you, my lips are entirely remarkable. Now would you ask not to cast such scrutinizing looks in my direction, Counsel?
Ah, sorry, my lord. Imagination got better of me there. Did wear a mustache, of course. You're right, he did. So, perhaps he was hiding something. Could barely have hidden a crumb of mustache at that size. See, the couple is alright then. Hey, there's it is. So he was clean shaven. Hide those lips. Perhaps yes, but nevertheless, the mark around his neck appears in anyone. It is identical to the one Mr. De Rossi suffered. Yes, that's true. But why does this whole disguise idea just keep playing in my mind? think I should have to say really. Not mine, the Spectre must have brought it along. Some of the other big bus that belongs to me. The desk and the chair like that.
Objection!
I knew it. I'm getting tired. I didn't take a nap the whole day. God. Oh shit. I'm safe here. I don't know this one now. I'm stuck. Let's see. What difference does it make? Gosh, I need to think about this, man. It's really nothing. I'm getting sneaky shit.
I don't know. Why would he be involved?
Hold it!
I need to check this out real quick. I don't understand. I must have borrowed it. One part. Victims of rape. I'm still thinking. I'm getting tired. I'm getting sleepy because I'm really thinking right now. Okay. There's no evidence that I could object with, at the very least. Is it testimony? Is it? What's your feelings about it? Well, the room where that fellow was found.
I did put that picture here. I did take that picture. For what difference is it made? Oh, Hillock Shums! It's him! It's the one, the true Hillock Shums! Good day to you, good man. I'm still thinking right now. My brain is getting tired. Can't believe the real Hillock Shums is on my stream. That's gonna be a clip, it seems. Oh, I need to think. Wait, I read the room the fellow was found. It's true. For what? What's contradictory here? I want to ask who? Who is this man? Presumably, do you? No, I don't live there. What do you think? No bed, no, just a desk. Then, what do you want to ruin it? I don't think I should have to say, really. Let me check something, my friend. I need to check something. Notice board in there. Yeah, I want to ask, who did you rent it out to? But that's not what the game wants. Let's see. That's not it. Alright, whatever. I know, that board's not mine. Inspector must have brought it along. It's the only that's belonged to me. Like the desk and chair there. But what about this picture? I presented this picture, I think. Oh, I like this little thing. Question is why Inspector Gregson is in the room. But obviously, I have not the faintest idea. I mean, no end of bother, to be honest. What? I don't know. I think I'm just gonna present random stuff until I get it. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Random stuff presenting time! Start with this. Objection! Fuck! The last statement was contradicted in a number of ways. That's right, my lord. A number of ways. No! What is contradictory here? I can't think of a good idea. Alright. The next one is picture. Objection! Fuck! I'm gonna load the game now. What is wrong with this trial? I don't know. What is this again? Blackbird? I don't know. Passage steamship. Received from Mrs. Vigil in order to aid locating her missing husband. No. Disguise. Wait. Objection! No, it's not it either. Yeah. This is the least obvious one. Throughout the whole chapter, this one is the least obvious thing. And I'm really having a headache for the first time. The middle weapon is one of the stream. Let's avoid handling it. What did he say last time? I gotta check. Anticoats the one. Possible to get away with those slippery skies. Well, Mr. Boone says it's undeniable. No. That's one part that's really bothering me now. One part. Crime is actually his room and one part. Changes things. check. What do you say? Well, obviously, I have nothing. It's caused me no end of bother, to be honest. Okay, no end of bother. To me, the desk and the chair. Documents. Oh, the board's not mine. Inspector must have brought it along. What am I doing? What do I do? What do I do? Wait. Why would I be involved in something like that? Something like that. Blah, 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 blah. Present picture.
Objection!
Fuck! I don't know anymore. What do I do? They say it's elementary. It's elementary. That's what Mr. Herlock Sholmes would say. It's elementary, my good man. What the fuck is elementary right now, my good man? Okay. Let's see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if? Community kinfolk. What would I be? He said that he didn't.
Objection!
Oh, it's elementary, my dear. It's elementary, my good man. Woo! If you have no kinfolk, as you put it, then explain why it is that among the sparse furnishings we found this photograph in the room. I presume, as you've been renting the room, that this photograph belongs to you. Does it not? Oh, well... Mr. Boone, drop the pretense and tell the court exactly who you really are. Well, I don't know. What you mean? I'm a peddler. I keep telling you so. You really don't need to bother with me. Please, just leave it alone. As the man says, leave it alone. Whatever the truth is about this man's life is no bearing on this case. Because it's simply not possible that he impersonated Inspector...
Objection!
What if this man is this man? God blimey, wait a minute. If I were to compare this picture... I'm gonna check out the people first. Right, this is Daily Vigil. Right, that was Daily Vigil. Okay, they have somewhat the same chin. I don't know about the ears. Not the nose. Shit, this is different. Oh, but their hair! We got him now, boys! How can you be so sure? Just look at the man. No amount of disguise could ever hide those unmissable features.
Objection!
It's him. It's definitely Mr. Vigil. We found him. But what if we were to look at this the other way around? What do you mean? Yes, counsel, what do you mean? Well, there's no denying that Mr. Boone's lips is very prominent indeed. But consider the possibility that his prominent lip is itself part of an elaborate disguise. We got it, boys. then this prominent feature is, in other words, revealing his true face. Would make an utterly impenetrable disguise. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Hugh Bone? Or should I say, Mr. Vigil? I got it now. Good goodness. Are you still hiding the truth from this court?
If that's a disguise, then underneath it, his true identity must be.
Yes, that's right. There's really only one person he could really be. My lord, the defense believe it can reveal Mr. Boone's true identity to the court.
No, please, no.
Very well then, counsel. What is the true identity of this peddler who simply goes by the name of Gossip in the street?
Take that!
Wait a minute, did I just click on the right fucking thing? Fuck, I just sacrificed them. That was bullshit. That was fucking bullshit. Wait, it was supposed to be Mr. Visual, not the same dude. Not the same dude, my guy. I clicked on this, didn't I? It's supposed to be this dude.
Take that!
Your real name is actually Mr. Vigil, isn't it? Mr. Daily Vigil. I don't recall that name, Counsel. Who is Mr. Vigil? There's a name I encountered yesterday, my lord. It has to do with a certain client of Mr. Herlock Sholmes, the man himself, right in chat. A young gentlewoman came to the detective asking him to locate her missing husband. The woman in this photograph, in fact. This is Mr. Vigil. But what? From what I understand, you haven't returned home since the night before the inspector was found dead. But of course, on that night you were being held captive by the two red-headed League men. And last night you were put up by the prosecution service in preparation for testifying this trial. Because we'd been led to believe that you, Miss Venus, and Mr. Sandwich were all homeless. Being important witnesses in this case, we needed to know where we could find you, of course. Dude, if he was homeless, truly homeless, and he has a good home right there, then why the fuck would he still sit on the streets? Sounds fishy, man. And that explains why you've not only been unable to return home, but also unable to contact your wife, who's been beside herself with worry, waiting for you at the Vigil residence. Now, hold on just a minute. What I'm talking about, really, is a simple enough matter to confirm my suspicions. Fucking hell yeah. Wait, someone texted me. I believe it should be my boys. Yeah, today is a good day. What is this? Oh, shit. Today is a good day. Holy shit, I need to... Holy shit, though. Yeah, cool, blimey. All right. Holy shit. An anime that I wanted to watch, me and my boys want to watch, is going to get a season 2. All we have to do is pull off that disguise. No, please. Bailiff, bring soap and sponge and a washbowl at once. Mr. De Rousseau and Mr. De Rossi, you will restrain the witness.
Wait, my lord. See, my lord.
Yeah!
Fuck yeah, baby. We got him now.
Right. Strain. This is the next thumbnail, I believe. Yeah, it's gonna be. What? His lips just fell down? I can't believe it. His lips just fell out of his mouth just like that. It can't be true. No lips work that way. The only time I saw was the nose. That's how, the episode of Billy and Mandy happened. Whoa. We are now seeing your true features, I presume. Yo, his clothes just changed too. Lift your head, sir, so the court can see your face. Now, who killed? It would appear that the defense counsel assertion was entirely correct. This has all been very elaborate deception. So, witnesses, tell to the court, have you seen this man before?
I don't believe it, but... See! There is no question! This is the inspector we saw in the park!
Extraordinary! This is a plot twist! It is truly the man! I thought we have to find that man somehow. On the day of the Red-Headed League enrollment, the man claiming to be Inspector Gregson, who appeared before Mr. DeRazoo and Mr. DeRossi in the park, was you disguised as the inspector, or rather, was you posing as the inspector in no disguise at all? Mr. Vigil was formerly employed as the chief warder at Barclay Prison. The chief warder? Then your career had promised. Why you would quite possibly have to become the future governor of the prison. What on earth have you been doing peddling tittle-tattle on Fresno Street? Well, it's been 10 years since Mr. Vigil worked at prison. 10 years. I've been doing my homework, buddy.
I'm really dreadfully sorry about all of this. Yes, it's true. I'm Daily Vigil.
And you were the chief warder... Wait, no. And you were chief warder at Barclay Prison 10 years ago. So where did Mr. Hugh Boone come from?
Boone is the other me. It's a name I've invented.
Well, evidently, there's a great deal under the surface here.
I'll explain everything. I'll tell you just how wretched my life has become.
Yeah, I know about the story from your old boss, I believe.
As you say, it was 10 years ago now that my employment at Barclay Chief's Warder came to an end. Having left the prison service, I searched for some new occupation by which to earn a wage. But times were hard in London, and I found no simple engagements at all. In desperation one day, I turned my hand at selling wares on Fresno Street. But your wife appears to know nothing of this. She still maintains that you are the chief warder at Barclay Prison. I was utterly determined that my wife should not know of my failings, which is why I've never told her. I've opened an account at the bank under the name of Hugh Boone, and I rented the cheapest room I could find on Fresno Street. The scene of the crime we're investigating. Yes, that's right.
Oh, the art.
A place which I could emerge every morning, as a squalid peddler.
A good thumbnail, eh?
And transform myself back every evening at 5 into a well-dressed man about town before returning home.
These gotta be. You know what? I gotta redo all the thumbnails I've done for past streams. Yeah.
That quickly became my daily routine.
Maybe the last few videos. The last few streams. I was puzzled by the lack of furniture in the room. But that explains it.
But why on earth didn't you tell us this in the first place? I have a wife, sir, and 2 sons. And without wishing to sound self-conceited, they regard me with some pride. I couldn't bring myself to disappoint them. So instead you decided to conceal your occupation from them. Yes. I've made such a terrible mess of everything.
Still, one thing doesn't add up. No matter how many tidbits of information you could sell to passing gentlemen, even at 6p a price, you couldn't hope to match the salary you must have commanded as chief warder at the prison.
Very true.
to have kept your family in comfort despite 10 years of somewhat misbegotten employment.
This was thanks to Inspector Gregson.
What? Inspector Gregson, what on earth?
It was some years after I've invented Boone
Invented Boone?
and begun my life as a peddler, street seller. He, the inspector that is, recognized me one day.
Do you mean to say the victim was an acquaintance of yours?
Wait a second.
What proof do you have of this?
I knew him from my time working at the prison. When he saw what I'd become, he was deeply trouble for me and my family. And from that day forward, he visited me on Fresno Street with increasing irregularity.
Doesn't add up, actually.
Then one day,
Oh shit, what is that form, though?
one day he asked me if I could carry out a secret assignment for him. A secret? What was it? I was to impersonate
What is this guy's movements?
the inspector.
What? Impersonate him?
God blimey, what's happening now?
I'm getting hungry.
We always met in that little room so the inspector could brief me.
Visit our skis tomorrow. We take a statement from the proprietors.
It was always something along those lines. Surveillance work, interviewing people. On those occasions, he would lend me his identification so people would believe who I was. My instructions were to make an impression to let people know that Inspector Gregson had been at work. And for those services, he compensated me financially.
The Scotland Yard inspector willingly relinquished his identification in your care with intent to deceive. Got snacks here. That, as I'm sure, I need to point out, is a very serious criminal offense. But why? What was the point of you impersonating him?
I simply don't know. All I can say is that the inspector warned me on numerous occasions.
Now remember, Vishal, I need your solemn word. You don't blab about this to anyone, alright? Ever. Even if, well, if I end up a croaker. Your services are respected, my good man. I miss Gregson dearly right now. I deeply miss him.
In time, he started to bring papers with him, for the room as well. It became something of a second office for him.
God blimey, actually.
So in fact, the person who declared himself to be Inspector Gregson at the park on Lime Street was really... Yes, it was me, acting on the inspector's orders. As usual, I removed my Boone disguise and then went as instructed to the park, armed with the inspector's identifications book. It never occurred to me that the bruise on my neck might give me away.
God blimey. But then who killed the inspector then? Well, it would seem this confession completely destroys the defense's case. Explain yourself, Prosecutor Sogi. My learned friend's assertion was as follows. The victim was killed at another location on that day, before his corpse was discovered. At the hands of these two Red-Headed League men when they imprisoned the inspector. Oh my god!
But no, this can't be. After all, it wasn't the inspector who went into the park that day, it was me. Thank goodness. Thank
Finally, we have clarity. We've had nothing to do with the murder of the inspector. And merci, Monsieur de la Defense, for proving it. What? Ah!
This can't be.
Indeed, it would appear that we have reached a facto conclusion of sorts. These witnesses have no involvement in the murder of the victim, as proven somehow, ironically, by the defense. I hereby call an end to the cross-examination.
Hold it!
Hold it!
It's definitely him, yeah, I knew it. Kazuma himself. Pardon me, my lord, but with your permission, I would like to pose one further question to the witness.
Kazuma.
What question, counsel?
It concerns the events of 10 years ago. I believe you would have been presented at a very significant execution that was carried out at the time.
10 years ago.
10 years ago? Okay, we need to voice it properly anyways.
The execution of the Professor Genshin Asogi.
I want to know exactly what your involvement was.
Oh,
Answer me, man.
One moment, counsel. Is this related to the current case?
Naturally. It is the prosecution's belief that this case and the events of 10 years ago are inextricably linked.
Does the defense concur, counsel?
Kazuma, you're not yourself. You're not as calm as and collected as yourself. But Kazuma-sama, no one is acting this way. Mr. Vigil's memories of what happened 10 years ago.
Oh.
The territory of Kinjirasoki's last moments, his own father.
I know. I do understand that, but even so... Because... Prosecutor Asogi... Do you genuinely believe that this question requires an answer in order to learn the truth behind Inspector Gregson's death?
I need you to trust me. Please.
My boy, Kazuma.
I wonder if Sholmes, other than Sholmes, is going to be Kazuma next.
Very well. Then the defense have no objections.
I see. In that case, you will answer the question, witness.
The truth is, I remember a very little of that time.
You've forgotten.
I'm sorry to say, yes. As I've said, I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. For some peculiar reason, my memory of the events leading up to that moment is extremely hazy. Does that not strike you as strange, Mr. Naruto?
Sorry.
10 years is a long time. To have forgotten the reason why he left such an important job.
Yes, you're right. And not only that, Mr. Vigil's claim contradicts what we already know.
The human spirit is a fragile thing. It's broken all too easily. Which is why we have a tendency to wrap it up for protection.
Sorry, the human spirit. I'm afraid I don't understand what you mean.
When we experience pain and suffering that we feel unable to bear, we block it out, obliterate it from our memories, seal it away. But it never truly leaves us. If the seal is broken, the memories resurface. And when they do, the fragile spirit may finally be crushed.
But I really don't. Sama-sama.
But if it must be crushed, then so be it. Because the truth will not stay buried. It's coming out one way or another.
Right. Now I understand. It's clearly what his intentions are. He means to expose the truth at any cost.
Perhaps if I pointed out the contradiction in what Mr. Vigil claimed earlier. It might cause some crucial memories to return to him. But should I present the evidence or not?
Do it.
I have no idea how this is going to go. But this is a court of law, and I have a duty to pursue the truth. Mr. Vigil, I'd like you to take a look at this. So you quit, right?
Take that!
Just a few moments ago, you made the following statement. I resigned from my role at the prison 10 years ago. Well, yes. In other words, you claim to have left the post of chief warder to your own volition. Well, yes, of course. Why? Tell me. Do you remember seeing this document before? No, I don't. This is a dismissal notice ordering the immediate termination of a prison staff member's employment. A dismissal notice. And the name of the notice is yours, Mr. Virgil. What? What? It's mine. So you didn't resign from prison service at all? For some reason, you were dismissed as a chief warder from Barclay. No, there's some been a mistake. I'm sure. I'm sure I tendered my resignation. The dismissal notice is nonsense. Isn't it? If you were forcibly dismissed, there must have been a good reason. Clearly, you did something. Mr. Virgil, it's time to break the seal, have you remember. According to the few remaining records, the final execution that you supervised was on the 17th of June 10 years ago. On that day, something very serious took place at Barclay Prison. The 17th of June. Was that the professor's execution? Professor! As you were the chief warder at the time, it stands to reason that you would have been present throughout the proceedings. It does sound familiar. And yet, that execution never took place. The convict, ostensibly executed earlier that day, later re-emerged from his grave. The convict came back to life. In a cemetery in the middle of the night, there was a witness.
However, the witness claims that a moment after he saw the convict clambering out of his grave,
Bang!
a gunshot rang out from his shoulder. And the bullet pierced the professor's chest, killing him instantly. Those may have been the professor's actual last moments. Yes.
Seeing as you were in charge of overseeing executions at the time, you must know the truth about what really happened. It's in your head, somewhere deep down. Well, Chief Warder Daily Vigil, I know there are memories in your head that can explain what happened on 17th June 10 years ago. And now it's time for you to drag them up. Mr. Vigil.
Yes.
The whole prison It was completely chaos. The prisoner escaped. He was killed in a cemetery. The shocking news ripped through the Barclay like a hurricane. What? What's happening?
Order! 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 Do you remember to say, Mr. Vigil, that your memories of the time have returned?
My head. It's like some floodgates have opened. Images, screams. Oh my goodness. The papers. There. Reporters. Articles about a man seen a ghost. Yes, an October.
But surely those reports were exaggerated.
There were traces at the scene. Traces of what? Locate cemetery. At plot number 139. Blood. Some blood. It's where the man was buried, of course. Obviously, something terrible had happened there.
The depths of conspiracy and depravity from which this tale is emerging are quite staggering.
I reviewed the police records from the time extensively, and thorough investigation was conducted by Scotland Yard to ascertain how the convict managed to escape in the first place. And the conclusion reached by the investigating team was that a member of the prison staff must have been involved.
Are you just suggesting that a prison warder abetted the man's bid for freedom?
Yes. And I was expected of doing it. Of using that mass murderer's execution as a way to help him escape. God blimey. You did what? I remember now. The horror of it all is coming back to me. One evening, a few days after the executions, some detectives came to the prison. I was called to the governor's office at the top of Watchtower. Oh shit, he's back again.
I'm sorry, Daily. This is a serious business. I cannot help you know. As chief order, they were responsible for overseeing the execution of 4A. Well, it seems the elders of Scotland Yard wants to have a few words with you about it. You better pack your things, eh? You're attending in person.
Shit. The poor man. Soon as he told me that, my mind just went completely blank. And the next thing I knew, the professor, the most hated killer in our country's history. And I let him escape. I finished my life. It's over. God blimey, he just screamed and passed out. What is that outrageous thing?
Hurrah! Hurrah! Well, fetch a doctor at once. What is adjourned for today with immediate effect?
Something happened there.
So, with Mr. Vigil's collapse,
What's acting?
proceedings came to an abrupt end for the day. Once again overshadowed by the legacy of that notorious killer, appearing like a cursed ghost ship on a foggy ocean. Lord Van Zeeks, Mr. Vigil, Kazuma, and Gregson. All of them bound by invisible chains anchored to the same wreckage in the murky depths of the past. But the miraculous light that had been trying to cut through the gloom and shine on those tragic events was playing on the edges of the truth at last.
Whoa. That was a good story. I think I screamed nicely there. What y'all think? Did I scream very nicely? I dare say I did scream nicely. Well, that's the end of the stream. Thank you, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, for coming, and everybody who watched the stream. Thank you so much for coming. That's the end for now. See you next week. I think I'm gonna mix it up next week again. Next week, maybe I'll stream on Wednesday as well. It's gonna be Yakuza, Ace Attorney, Yakuza, Ace Attorney. So the weekends, at least some people will get to watch, because I believe some Western peeps are at work and they really can't watch. Yeah, poor sods. All right, I see you all next time. Goodbye.